The
This is offline for me. Oh yeah, it just went live.
trying to get my stuff set up. Give me a sec.
Alright, it should be fixed now.
Is this the season 3 of F3?
There we go, yeah. And I want to welcome everyone to the round 4 of Formula Trout Leagues, Formula 3. Season 3? Yeah, Season 3. As we are about to head into qualifying in 10 seconds. Carlos, can you check if my microphone works?
Yeah, one second.
And joining
I'll
me
check as
in
well.
the commentary booth is Jake Bond and Carlos Skirmanis. I hope I said that right.
Yep. We should probably do a little bit of a recap on standings before qualifying starts. So we have at the top, leading F3 for the driver standings is Ermis, in Mercedes Motorsport. He has won 4 races so far and has a pole position in Donington. Artur Nieminen is second. He won 2 races, both races at the Red Bull Ring last session. Jaap is in third. Doesn't have a win yet, but he has 2 second place finishes, and that's your top 3. Going down the order, we have Maxi in 4th, Martin in 5th, Clank Hughes in 6th, Jack Smith in 7th, Jans in 8th, Magzire and Hago round out the top 10. For constructors, we have in forward is first with 180 points. They're 30 points ahead of their nearest rival, Mercedes Motorsport, and then Mercedes Toro Rosso is in third, 36 points back. So second and third are really close in the constructors. So these 2 races will be kind of important, but it looks like in forward is starting to run away with it. Vermin is also close, only 41 points behind the leader. So that second, third, and fourth are all very close. Any one of them could jump or lose 2 spots today.
So Jake, what are your predictions for this weekend?
Actually, I have none at the moment. I haven't seen anyone's pace yet. I think as qualifying goes on, we'll kind of see. But Artur Niemann won both races out last time. I didn't know that. That's pretty impressive. So I guess he's the one to watch to see if he can keep up form.
Definitely.
What are you thinking?
Last time I said that in forward guys were going to be the ones to beat, but they haven't really shown the form they have been able to hit last season. So, I mean, I think Wormus he's winning me. I think he's the one to beat tonight.
Fair enough. I mean, that's a good person to go with. He's currently sitting on top.
That's
He's got 114 points.
I struggle to get
22
the
ahead of R2.
ACTV working. It's not convenient, as it is not showing any times. Here we go. The first times are being set in. Yeah, with a 28.2. Max Junger right behind him with a 28.5. So far it's looking pretty close. Looking back at the times people were setting in practice, early in the week, Ormas Rees managed to set a 26.6, but because the low grip drivers will always be a bit slower than that, so I reckon the pole position will be somewhere around 27s. So a very good lap from Jaap. Looking back at the sessions, looking back at the earlier sessions, Jaap has his first lap has always been quite strong. I believe it was in Imola, the Italian Grand Prix, where I believe the lap he set in the beginning, I don't think he managed to improve that time, but he was still, I believe, 6th, which just shows Jaap's pace.
He's always been strong in F3. It's where he can really shine. In the hybrids, you know, Irmis and Magzire currently kind of run it, but he's always up there. But in F3, he actually he seems to be able to get closer to that front group, and he's very capable of winning a race. So we'll see. I mean, his team's leading the constructors, so they're doing something right. But we'll see this weekend. I mean, we've got a pretty good grid. We don't have many drivers tonight, but we have, you know, the likes of Jack Smith, Hago. We have Clank Hughes is always quick. So we'll see. I mean, maybe we'll see a different winner so far this season. That'll add. We have what, 2 or 3 winners so far this year. So it hasn't been domination, but
yeah, I believe we have 4 different race winners this season.
let's see, we have Irmis has won. Oh, Martin won a race. He won race 2 in Imola. So yes, you're right. Well, 3. Let's see, because R2 won, Irmis won, and Martin has won.
You're so correct. So 3 different winners in 3 different races. So I wonder if we're gonna have a new race winner in this one. Yeah, if it's gonna be someone, I do think it's Jaap. I mean, it's his home race, so he's gonna be pushing really hard tonight, I think.
Let's see how many laps he did in practice. Let me pull that up. I'll let you know when I do.
Sorry to interrupt, but it is also a track that he's raced in real life with cars similar power to these ones. So I think he's in for a good chance to dominate this weekend.
That's interesting to know. He's up currently 2/10. Let me take a look at track grip. We're at 97%, so they're going to get a little bit faster. But he's looking good so far. Everyone's kind of split up. He's the only one in the 27s, but there's a big group right there. I'd say, what, 3 drivers within 20, 200ths of a second. Sammy Salem, is he new?
No.
A new driver on the group?
No, he's one of the Toto Rosso drivers. He hasn't showed I mean, he has showed pretty good pace. He's been really consistent. Scoring 5th place in Donington Park. That's his best result so far. So both the Totoro's drivers showing some consistent pace. So we're on board with Maxi. He's currently 3/10 up, so it's looking like a decent lap.
Let's see, we have... So the people who've done the most laps, we've got... Jans Van Dijk got 98 laps, as well as Jack Smith, both set 98 laps on the server. Martin set 92. And Yap is set 70. They're currently the lap leaders. Ermis has only set 33 laps, but he's always quick. He's set the fastest time so far, but not by much.
So Max sets a 27.9 dead, and that puts him on provisional pole. 300's faster than Yap, so that's a very good lap.
We'll see though. Jack Smith is currently 1.8 or 0.18 up on his time, so he could jump a few spots if he gains a little bit more time. He's still got a lot of lap left to go.
Yeah, Hago Boom just set a 27.6, and that puts him a provisional pole, almost 3/10 ahead of Maximilian Junger. So people starting to find some time on the track. It's looking like a very close battle for a pole tonight.
I think Jack Smith's going to jump a few spots here. He's steadily gaining time through.
He's 2.5
the
tenths
track
up right now. He still has a few corners to go. Let's see what he can do.
That's a good chunk he's gained.
Losing a little bit on the exit. Still 3/10 up.
Jack Smith's left some points on the board this season. He could really use a good round. I think it was Donington where he had a terrible string of 2 races with a DNF, and I think he finished like out of the points in the second race, but he got into a couple accidents when he could have been either leading the race or finishing on the podium. So hopefully, for his sake, he has a good.
I believe Alex Cochran has briefly went off the track. So,
that's David J. Bull. He's gone off. He's currently right off the racing line. Hopefully he can rejoin safely.
Maxi has improved to a 127.6.
It's a very good lap.
So Vermin's looking strong.
Yeah, Jack Smith still improving, about 2/10, so it's looking like a very good lap again. People consistently finding a bit of time everywhere. He's only 3/10 off of pole position right now, so this could be it.
Sammy's Philip Ole for 7th. See who else is on a flyer.
I must say, from
Jans needs to set a lap here.
Has he not set a lap yet?
He's down 56, which is normally he's on top of things. So I'm hoping that he gets a lap in. He's got 4 minutes. He should be fine.
Yeah, I must say from my own experience, having raced this track a couple of times, very brutal track. not one of my favorites. There's not a lot of runoff area, so when you go off, you're straight onto the gravel. I am not a huge fan.
I haven't seen many F3 races here, but I know in like GT cars, for example, you just get trains. You can only really pass on the main straight, so everyone just seems to follow the leader through most of the lap, and then as you get towards the end is where people start turning it into chaos. I think turn 1's going to be the spot to watch out for. Any late breakers, we could see people go off, but it's a really good run down the main straight. You'll get a good draft. It just depends on how hard people are defending today, I think, is whether we'll see an entertaining race for overtaking sakes, at least.
Yeah, there are a couple of corners which I think are very dangerous. I think turn 2, I have found that It's people tend to go for overtakes on that corner, and it's just there's not a lot of space there, so it's caused a few accidents in the past. So we'll see if anything will happen there tonight. Let's see.
Yep, he's going to gain half a second. I would put him on pole. He's on a good lap right now.
Yeah,
this could be...
Still has a few corners to go.
Hago's got a little bit of time. He's gaining right now.
Yeah, I'm gaining a lot of time through that corner. 7/10 up. This is looking like a very good lap.
So is Clank. Clank is up. He's not as quick as Yap, but they could go to the top of the boards right now. Both of them. Yap. That's going to put him on pole. Yep.
27-2. A very strong lap.
As long as Clank Hughes survives, yep, this should put him second on the grid. Hago's improving, but not by as much. He's up a 10th.
Very good lap from Yap and Clank Hughes, but it's looking like the 13th forward driver, Martin. He's still lacking a bit of pace. He's about a second off a pole right now and only gaining a 10th on this lap, so not sure what's going on there. Usually Martin is he's not this far off of the front runners. As David Chapel, he's spun around on the track once again. Thankfully manages to rejoin safely.
Sammy put in a good lap for 5th. He's a little bit down on this lap, so he's not going to improve, I don't believe, in time. Jack Smith down at 6th, which is interesting. Oh, as Hago puts in the best lap.
Only 100th faster than Yap. There's only 50 seconds left on the clock, so Yap will only have one chance.
Yeah, he's going to get to the line in time.
Yeah.
I don't know how much fuel he has, though. I don't know what fuel he's running.
Well, Hago, he's still improving. He's 10th up already, so...
Oh, as R2 sneaks in.
That's I was not expecting that. That came as a bit of a surprise. It was a very nice lap.
I was focused on watching his teammate there. I didn't realize he was able to sneak that in. That's a very good time. He's another 10th up.
Oh, that's Hago.
Oh,
takes
Hago
a bit
spins.
Too much curb there and lose control. He was a 10th up.
Don't come back on the track, Hago. Don't come back on the track. Okay. He stopped it.
Maxi was a 10th up, but then hit traffic and lost 4 tenths.
Oh, that's not very good. Jack Smith is currently 4 tenths up on his lap right now. We're in overtime, so whoever crosses the line, their times will count.
Yep, he's a 10th up right now. If he can keep this together, that would be pole position. He loses a bit of time there. Oh, he's lost his time. He needs to gain about 2 tenths to get the pole position. So he needs to push really hard through these last couple of corners.
Oh, he's going to be close. He's going to be very close. I don't think... Oh, this might be it. This might be pole by very little margin. Wow. Wow. Jack Smith coming in clutch there right at the end.
Maxi is 3.5 tenths up on his time at the end of Sector 2.
Yep, jumps up to
P3.
3rd.
That's a very close top 4.
So Maxi's the only one that can jump here. He's got to get another 500ths, but he's not going to get it. I don't think he's going to get it.
Still 4 tenths up, so that's
close.
A very good
lap. This
lap.
should put him 3rd. Yep.
Top 3 within 2 tenths of each other.
Wow, Paul Magzier is not on the pace today. He's 1.9 off. That's very unusual for him. I wonder if he had an impeded lap or damage or something like that.
Yeah, usually Paul Magzier, he's quite fast. So, not sure what's going on there.
Jack Smith starts on pole. I believe that is his first pole in F3 this season.
Very many guys doing well. Sorry.
Yeah, they're 1 and 3 right now.
Yeah, first pole position for Jack Smith. That is correct.
So Jack Smith, Artur Nieminen, Maximilian Junger, Jaap Hago, Martin Klankhughes, Philip Bull, Sammy Salem, and Jans, rounding out your top 10.
I must say, not the qualifying I was expecting. Very surprising lap from Artur Nieminen. I mean, he has showed some good pace before, but I was not expecting him to set a lap that fast. Oh, that's the top 4 are incredibly close to each other. They're all within a tenth.
That's 4 drivers. Whew.
That it's with 4 or 5 drivers within 2/10 of each other, showing very good pace. It's going to be very hard to predict who's going to win this race. But looking at the standings, Jack Smith has not won a race this season. So if he doesn't win this race, we get a new race winner. So that would be 4 race winners in 4 races. As we are about to head into the race.
Urmis had a qualifying ban. I forgot about that. So he's starting at the back of the grid. I'm going to ride on board, and I'll let you know what happens. I'll ride on board with someone. I'll ride on board with Urmis. He's starting at the back, so anything that does happen, I'll be able to see. So I'm not sure how the camera angles will be.
Some drivers, especially Hagop, having a really high ping right now.
And lights out and away we go. Everyone seems to get a pretty good start.
Decent start from Artur Nieminen as they go side by side in turn 1.
Oh, there's been an accident at the back of the field.
And it looks like Artur Nieminen, is he able to hold on to that position? It's very close as Jack Smith goes on the grass. That looked very dangerous for a second. Jack Smith loses 2 positions. And he's down to P3. Artur Nieminen leads the race. It's a surprisingly clean start.
Maybe up at the front, but the back we had a big accident. We had about 4 or 5 drivers there, including Urmis. That's going to impede his progress. They just got into a straight line accident. A couple people into the wall. They're all back up and running. No one's out, so to say, yet. But Jack Smith losing 2 positions off the start. We should be in for a good one. We'll have to see if Urmis can come back. I know he's got damage, so we will see. He's normally good at powering through the field once these guys in the front start really fighting.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he's done it before. He's started from the back and still been able to fight his way back to the podium, so I wouldn't count him out yet.
And just a reminder, these are 20-minute sprint races. We have 2 of them, so there's not a whole lot of time to make moves. You have to be picky and choosy, but you have to get the job done sooner rather than later. There's not much time to force a guy into a mistake.
As Nick Wu has, yeah,
he's lost a few spots.
He's went wide in turn 1 and lost a couple of places.
Puts Urmis up to 11th. We'll keep in mind his progress. We've got the top 3 are still running pretty close. Top 5, actually, I'd say.
Yeah, everyone's
Jaap is falling a little bit behind, but maybe he's just waiting to see if these guys start getting pushy and shovey.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder what happened to Jack Smith there. I completely missed that as I was looking at the standings, but he's lost a position to Hago. But still very close within the top 5.
I wonder if he's retiring because he's had damage. He might be getting that fixed from the accident at the start. The top 5 are starting to drive away here a little bit from the rest of the crew.
Yeah, Martin he's starting to fall back slightly with a 1.4 second gap to P5 already. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Usually he's a bit faster than that. But regardless, it's very close within the top 5 with everyone setting
R2
almost
the
identical times.
128.3.
Yeah.
So he's a couple tenths up.
As we have our first retirement, David Chable.
Oh, that's a shame.
I
There
forgot
was just
to
a
change it
freak
to this
accident.
I forgot to change the banner from qualifying to race 1, so that's fixed now. Apologies. Oh, Alex Cochran just loses control out of turn 2, takes a bit too much curb, goes straight into the wall. He must have gotten a lot of damage from that. So he
They've
will
kept
most
it
likely have
surprisingly
to,
clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least the guys in the front.
That turn 2 has caught out a couple of guys. The curbs are very high there, so when you mount them, it can most definitely put you straight into the wall. It's very dangerous. It's Alex Cochran, he's struggling to keep the car on the track. He definitely has a lot of front wing damage. He's gonna have to pit this lap.
R2 wins this race. That's 3 in a row.
Oh yeah, that is
March
true.
3 in a row
That
for
is
R2.
true. He won race 1 and race 2 in Red Bull Ring.
As we've knocked our first 5 minutes down in this session.
Field
Nothing
is starting
too crazy.
to spread out slightly. With still the
Urmis
top
is
5
starting to
being
catch the
fairly
midfield.
close to each other.
He's a second quicker than the guys in front. He's catching Philip Ohl and his teammate in hybrid Paul. That looks like it could get interesting here in a minute as the front start to kind of split up a little bit. Maxi's still keeping it within half a second though.
Yeah, Max hasn't showed like this good of a pace in the first 3 rounds, so maybe it's just the track that he really likes, or I don't know what it
he did
is.
59 laps. Oh, as Urmis loses it a little bit, he's going to lose all his progress that he made there. He might lose a position here to Nick Wu. Nah, he's good. He's back
There you
on
go,
track.
he's right on Max's
Oh, no,
gearbox.
he's lit up the rears, I think. He's really struggling with grip right now. That's a shame because he was making up good pace. He is your championship leader as well, so finishing down in 12th is not where he wants to be.
Yeah, definitely not. Maxi's really pushing hard. He's going quite close to Arthur Nieminen a couple of times, so just
Hago is 4 tenths quicker than Maxi and 6 tenths quicker than R2, so he's starting to really push, and he's right on the back.
they're still so close to each other. I mean, if they keep fighting on the front, I mean, it's just gonna close the pack up even more. So I think it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna have an interesting race in our hands. As Hago, he's right on Max's gearbox. That is so dangerous going downhill. See, you never know if Maxi might break a little bit. That's one of those corners if you go slightly wide. Just
Philip Ohl really wants to get Paul Magzar here. Oh, as Jans has gone off and he's into the wall. Oh no. He's going to get back on track, but that's going to put him down at the back of the runners. He's not had a good race.
no.
Or a good weekend so far. I was just about to say they had a good fight going on here in the midfield because Magzar lost a little bit. So Philip Ohl could gain another position here.
Usually,
this front group.
yeah. Well, I was about to say usually the midfield is a lot closer, but this time it's top 5. We're incredibly close to each other. As Yab sits at 27.
Yeah, looking.
Yeah, he's
looking for that on Jack Smith. He's thinking about the dive bomb. It's turn 1 is the place to watch.
still can't believe how close they are to each other.
We haven't seen something like that in a while, up at the front at least, since I've been watching.
12 minutes to go, as I believe in front of Arto Nieminen, that is Otapenko. So the front runners already coming across, coming up to some traffic. This is going to get really interesting. I hope that the lapped car does not interfere with the front runners.
No, it is a vermin
should get
car.
blue flags here. He's
Yeah,
moved out of the way.
he's-
Oh, that was a very good move there.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry that I can't pronounce his name, but
he's not really racing anyone here, so might as well just let them go.
I think he was involved in the accident on lap 1.
Yes, Yanis, he's in
Gosh,
the
this
pits.
front group.
Yanis is in the pits, most likely from the damage he received from spinning out. As I'm not sure when that happened, but Alex Cochran has also retired out of the session.
That is interesting. I haven't seen him go off. Is Jans retiring from the race, or is he just...
He's just sitting
hanging
in
in
the
the
pits.
pits.
I am not sure. Either it's a long
Oh,
repair.
there's been an accident in the front! R2's out! And R2 and Maxi got into a collision. Maxi knocked him a little bit in the hairpin as Jack Smith and Harris lead. Oh my god, we've had another accident. Hago and Jan.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Wow. Jack Smith just inherited the... I don't know how he stayed out of that. Everyone was just going crazy there as everyone falls through the order. Maxi falls down to 5th. Yap relatively stayed the same in 4th, but wow. That's a shame.
yeah, that is just... I mean...
Oh, and R2's in the wall. He's got damage for sure. He might be out of this race.
Not something I was expecting. But I knew there was going to be some action between the front runners because they were so close to each other, but... wow,
I was riding on
speechless.
board. Believe it or not, I was just about to mention that Martin was running a very lonely race back there, about 4 seconds back, and I was watching his onboard, and then you just see everyone, it just turned into chaos in the front. I believe that Maxi just tapped the inside of R2, and since it's such a tight corner when he spun, it just created this chain effect. And everyone else got bunched up avoiding the accident, so everyone was very close, and they went 3 wide going up that hill, and there was not enough room.
Oh, that's such a shame. I literally just clicked away to see what Yanis was doing in the pit, and then the collision happened.
Smith, he might have damage. He's kind of struggling a little bit right now. He almost ran off into the wall there. He's got a 3.6 lead, though. He can relax. He's only got 8 minutes to survive.
He's 7/10 down in this lap, so definitely might have some damage. But he has almost a 4-second gap to P2, so...
I think R2 might retire. Yep, R2 has retired from the race.
Oh. I don't know what to say. My heart goes out for that guy. He was, didn't he qualified P2, correct?
Yes.
So, shows him a really good pace in qualifying, also
and
showed
then he
really good pace
overtook.
in practice. Yeah, I know overtook the guy in pole position going into turn 1. That is
Philip
just...
Bola's been stuck behind Magzire for the entire race. He's just kept it within like 5 or 6 tenths. I know he's probably begging to get by, but he just can't find a place to do it at. He's got a good run here. Let's see. Paul's taking the very inside line. No. It's very hard when someone takes that. Oh, no, he's lost a little bit of time there. Ermis is slowly making his way up. I'll tell you what. These guys, whenever they can catch Ermis down at the bottom of the pack, they'll always find a way to start a collision. I mean, he was outside the points before that front group crashed. They're just giving him some points now, their own little battles.
Yeah.
That's your championship leader. You should be wanting him to finish outside the points.
That is true, and considering Artonim, he was only 22 points behind Urmas, so that's got to hurt. Losing a lot of points this race.
I wonder what the steward's inquiry will be on that. I didn't see the beginning of the accidents that happened, but I'm sure everyone will want to take a look and see what happened, whatever ramifications.
So I completely missed out. I am not sure if there were some team orders.
Maxi's off.
But Urmas just flew past Philip.
Maxi's lost a lot of positions here. He's stuck in the gravel trap. He's gone from 5th to 9th.
Oh, he managed to get out. That's a free
Hago
position for
him.
Urmas and the other guys. As Urmas, he's trying to go for an overtake on Paul Maxire going into turn 1. Very close. He goes side by side, heading into turn 2.
Smooth move.
Yeah. It's very nice racing from Urmas. Very good overtake.
So Vermin was looking strong going into this and qualifying, but look, and Forward has 2nd through 4th right now just from attrition. They've survived, and now they're going to get a very good points haul. Mercedes Toto Rosso lost a ton of points, so that's going to be good for in Forward's championship.
Yeah,
they're currently sitting on top by 30 points.
Yeah, in Forward, they only have 1 race win this season, but they're able to capitalize on all of these mistakes. They can, like, every weekend they bring in some good points, so they're looking really good on the constructors. So Urmas Reese has already fought himself up to P5. There's still 5 minutes to go.
That's amazing, because he wasn't able to pass Nick Wu for a while. He was stuck behind him until maybe 3 or 4 minutes ago. We have 5 minutes left in the session now, so now's really crunch time. I'll have to keep taking a peek at that. Philip is still stuck behind Paul.
Yeah.
He's definitely quicker. He's 4/10 up on that lap, but he just can't find the spot to do it at, which is weird because Paul is a little bit off pace this weekend. He's normally very quick.
Yeah, it could just be the track. It's very hard to overtake. He could also have some damage. You don't really know.
Look at that. Philip is right on his gearbox.
Yeah. This corner that Paul Maxire and Philip Boll are heading into right now, the downhill right-hander. I remember in the first season of Trout League when we were racing the Formula 3, was the F312 cars. Remember going side by side with Martin down that hill. That was that was one of the best moments for me in the season. Very thrilling. But yeah, it's not something you see every day, as a very dangerous place to try and overtake on.
Sammy's catching up to this group.
Well, Maxi goes a
Paul
bit deep there. Which lets
Philip is all over.
Pretty close, yeah. I think he's trying to set up his car for this overtake. He's very close to Paul Maxire, so...
Oh, Maxire loses it! Oh, and he's in the wall! Oh, wow. That...
I wonder what happened there.
With 3 minutes left.
He looked like...
Did he touch the grass?
I'm not sure. It didn't look like he did anything wrong, but... It's a very bad weekend for a multinational corporate conglomerate, however you say that.
No, you're right.
With both Maxire and Yanis having those incidents.
So in this war of attrition, it's led by Jack Smith, who really needed this race win. He could have won both races in Donington, I believe, and he just had his own accident, so it's good to see him back on the up. Martin Van Laan, he just did his own thing. He's been running his own race. I haven't seen him near any other drivers.
Yeah,
he's just kind of been on his own, but he's survived, and now he's sitting in P2.
Yeah, on one lap pace, he wasn't really... He wasn't showing like anything crazy. Going into the race, the first 5 minutes, he was He's being pretty quiet, not really. The top 5 were kind of drifting away slowly. But
We haven't talked about Clank Hughes much. He's sitting in P3. I haven't even noticed that he snuck up there.
Yeah, all of
Where
the
did he qualify at?
Curious
Curious where Clank Hughes qualified.
P6 or around there. Regardless, even if Martin has not been able to show the best possible pace in qualifying, he's definitely showing some decent pace right now in the race. I think the key word here is consistency. Like, he might not be the outright fastest guy, but he is so consistent.
That's true. All the in-forward guys have been able to get points in most of the races, regardless of accidents.
Yeah, and that's why they're leading
haul.
the Constructors' Championship. Yep, he's getting very close to Clank Hughes there.
And their teammates here, they got a minute left. Do they really want to risk?
I wonder if there's going to be team orders. If
that was a good move there by Yap.
Clank Hughes is just going to let Yap go.
It's his home race.
Yeah. This is a very nice thing from very nice thing to do from Clank Hughes.
They need to make that move quick because look who's coming up behind him.
Yeah,
I
didn't even notice, but he's caught up really fast. There's still 40 seconds to go, and the gap is only 7/10. So even a slight mistake from Clank Hughes could cost him that P4. Maybe that is the reason why he just let Yap go. Maybe he saw that Wormus Reese was closing up, so knowing that Yap is slightly faster than him.
You know what? Urmus might get this because he was 2.5 seconds faster last lap. I know they were battling a little bit, but he is really making a move for Clank Hughes here.
Close. So maybe letting Yap go was a strategic choice, knowing that Wormus Reese was going to catch up.
True. That's a good point to make.
Final lap.
Sammy Salem is right on Philip Ohl. I don't know if he's going to get him, but let's pay attention here. As
Wormus is getting really close right now. I wonder if he's going to try and go over an overtake into the chicane.
Possibly.
Right on Clank's gearbox, but I'm not sure if he's close enough. Might still try it. Clank goes offensive. Wormus Reese goes a bit too deep there. And I think that might cost him.
Jack Smith is coming around the final corner. He started on pole, didn't lead the early rounds as he does his little celebration. Don't spin out, Jack.
Yeah. He made a small mistake.
Made
a small mistake in turn 2, which cost him a couple of places. But managed to stay out of trouble when other people had the incident. So there you go. We have another race winner. 4 races, 4 race winners.
So your podium is Jack Smith, Martin Ventland, and Yap. Sorry, I don't know how to say your last name, Yap. But they ran all relatively clean races at the front. Jack was the cleanest, at least in terms of staying out of accidents. Clank Hughes sneaks into 4th. Urmus makes his way from the back in 5th. Philip had a good result there in 6th. I know he might have been able to get, catch up to that top group if he wasn't stuck. Sammy Salem finishes in 7th. He fell all the way to the back, so him coming back up to 7th was good. Hago in 8th. That's a disappointing result. Nick Wu, he had a couple accidents, so finishing in 9th, getting points isn't bad. Maxi in 10th though, that's the big one. He was up in 5th before his 2nd accident, so he's not going to be happy with himself.
But that P10 does mean that he's going to get reverse pole for race 2, so...
That's very true. There's a lot of retirements this race.
Yeah, I believe 4 retirements.
All drivers are back for race 2, so...
Apparently Urmus is saying he was ruined on aero.
And still having the fastest lap by a mile. I don't think he actually had aero damage. Really
So I didn't
doubt
catch
that.
the beginning of the conversation, but they're discussing the accident here at the front. R2 feels like his championship hopes are over.
That is a big. I mean, he was 22 points behind Ormus in the standings, and that win definitely would have helped him, especially now.
Yeah.
Ormus being able to take P5 in the first race.
And Ormus might not have even finished in the points if they didn't have those accidents.
Yeah, and going into the second race, Ormus is going to start 6th, while Arto Newman, he's going to be right at the back.
It'll be interesting to watch and see if he can make up places, though. Let's hope they keep it cleaner on the first lap in the back this time.
Yeah, that was not as action-packed as it was in Donington, I believe.
That was chaos.
But yeah, the first race had its moments, with especially the top 5 being so close to each other for so long. As I hope we're gonna have a clean start for the second race.
I agree.
Axiom Pole, he's definitely gonna look for revenge. I mean, he showed some really good pace in the first race, so if he can just keep it together, I believe he can win this one. Nick Wu in second place. What do you think about that?
It should be interesting. We couldn't really see his pace because he got into an accident on the first lap, but it'll be interesting to see if he can hold everyone behind him. There's some seriously quick drivers there in the midfield, so as we're about to start here. And we have lights out. Everything looks pretty clean.
Looks like Max got a decent start. He's leading going into turn 1.
Everyone looks pretty clean going in. No one can really gain any positions here. Oh, as they go wide, Philip and
Nick Wu
Ernest.
goes wide.
Oh, Nick Wu's go wide. Don't take anybody
really
out.
Dangerous.
Does he rebound onto the track? And he comes back on. He's going to have damage, though. Oh, that was close.
Good job by Sammy to avoid him.
Hago's trying to go inside on Sammy, followed by Ermis, Philip Ole, Nick Wu's dropped back to 6th, Yap in 7th, Clank Hughes in 8th. Let's see how long Jans is looking down on the inside. Oh, gosh, that could have been really bad.
R2 up to P10 already.
He needs to make up as many positions as he can.
What happened to Martin? He's down in the last place. I just saw him get off the curb, so did he spin on his own?
That's possible. I don't see anyone else who could have damage right now on the track. No one else is very far behind.
He's currently sitting in P16, 11 seconds behind P15, so I'm not sure what happened there, but that's it doesn't seem like anyone else has dropped down. I believe he might have been just a mistake.
Hago's going around the outside of Sammy Salem as Ermis is just waiting to see if these guys touch. Oh, and Sammy's gone off into the wall. Yep, makes a nice pass on Nick.
So much happening. No, I don't know who to follow.
I'm on board right now with Clank Hughes trying to see what happens. Maxi is just driving away right now as Hago and Irma's battle, so the front is quiet for now.
Oof, big spin by Sammy Salem.
Oh,
he got onto the curb, bottomed out, and had a violent spin. I hope he didn't take anyone out.
Todorosa is not having a good weekend. I'll tell you that.
Three staying
Philip
very
Bowl
close to
sneaking into
PT.
4th. That's a good result for him. I wonder if that's his best result this year. I think it is if he finishes there.
Yeah, I think it is.
Because he's currently sitting 12th, so that would be good. His best finish is 7th. We'll see though. Yap's making ground.
Yeah,
Maxi needs Hago and Irmis to keep battling.
Philip being P4 would definitely help Mercedes Motorsports as they are fighting in forward in the constructors, so need all the points they can get.
Yep, makes the move on Philip inside of turn 1. Philip goes a tiny bit wide. He just needs to keep everything together here. 5th would be a good result for him.
As we have our first retirement, Paul Maxire.
Again, wow.
Didn't see what happened. He's out of the race.
As Alex Cochran's gone off, Martin just needs to avoid it. I don't know if there's damage.
Goes really wide.
Martin
there.
gets the position, no problem.
It's an easy overtake.
Oh, there's been an accident. Clank Hughes has been spun around. I don't know if it was by Jans or not, but he just lost it. He's back into the wall. I was watching from Jack Smith's point of view as he gains another position into the points.
Yeah, that's a lot of points lost.
That did not like there was contact from my point of view as I'm watching on board R2.
You think he just lost it under braking?
It seemed like it to me, but we'll see after the race if there was contact.
Thomas Rees right on Hago's gearbox. I wonder if he's going to try and go for an overtake in the turn 1. He is. Down the inside, and there's contact. Looks like Hago got away with that.
Gains a position.
Yeah, looked like Hago got away with that, but Ormus does lose a position to Yab. Will not be happy as he goes on the grass and barely avoids the wall.
Oh, is Philip? Oh, I thought Philip was going to go. They're teammates, so I didn't think he'd try, but
yeah, I think he knows that there's no point of overtaking Ormus, as Ormus is clearly faster than Philip. So we'll just lose.
Jack Smith and R2 really need to start moving up this field here. I know they're gaining on this group, but they don't want to let people like Irmis get so many points. There's a good train in the midfield. The front is split up this race now, unlike last. It's kind of gone flip-flop.
Yeah, completely different to the previous races. E5, where each car is separated by over a second. As
Nick Wu makes a mistake.
Jack Smith has spun out, and it was that Nick Wu who went wide or deep into the chicane and onto the gravel. I missed what happened to Jack Smith. I believe he lost a position there.
He lost a lot of positions. He lost a lot. He probably span because he lost 5 positions.
Very, very unlucky in this race.
So Yap in his home race is sitting on the podium for now, holding off from Irmis. Max used to driving away up at the front. He just set his fastest lap of the race so far. I don't know if Hago has the pace to catch him.
R2 is just stuck behind Jans for now. He's not really gaining time for in this lap. Jans is also having good pace now. R2 is on a personal best, and Jans is still ahead of him and holding his gap. Though Jans makes a slight mistake, runs deep into the chicane, and that allows R2 to close up.
field is quite evenly spread out, so it's only a couple of drivers are close to each other, and there's Arthur Nieminen and Jack Smith close to the car in front. Other than that, gaps are quite big.
Hago is starting to make ground on Maxi though. He's now within a second. He was 2/10 quicker on the last lap. What do we think could happen here? Do we have another accident before the end? Commentator's curse, maybe?
I hope nothing happens to Maxi. I mean, there's still 12 minutes to go, so
he went. I saw some smoke come up from his tires there. I know he's pushing, but Hago is just coming up. He got a little bit wide. He's now within 7. Hago does have the pace. He called me out on that. Armis is half a second behind Yap. There's nothing he can do yet, though.
yeah, not really gaining on Yap. Kind of setting the same lap time, so. But that's the thing when you have a stock car. Everyone's running the same car, so when you have two really skilled drivers who are both just as fast, it's gonna be really hard to gain places.
Hago was so much quicker that lap.
Almost only 3/10 faster than Yap in that lap.
This track's giving us good racing this week, I'd say. Oh, as Clint Hughes is trying to make a pass.
I'm gonna try and go around the outside. It's Potapenko, he's very generous there. I think he broke a lot earlier than he could have. Maybe he just wants to avoid
is very close to Maxi now. A lot closer than before.
Jack Smith right behind Potapenko. I think maybe team orders there as well. As Jack Smith
Could
just
be.
flies through without any resistance. They are teammates.
There's 3 drivers very close. So Ermis is very close to Yap. R2 is very close to Jans. He was within a 10th at one point. This Hago really wants to make this pass for the lead here, coming down the straight. So this doesn't end badly.
He's very close now, so we can just keep it together, get a good run. It seems to be a small bump there, the last corner. Seeing Maxi drive over it, slightly unsettling the rear. Hago is getting really close, but he's not close enough.
Ermis almost got Yap there. I want Yap to hold on to this position though, because it's his home race. It'd be nice to see him get a podium if he could, but
He didn't get a podium.
I don't know.
In
Ermis
the
is
previous
pities.
race. Yeah, he did.
Did
So that
he?
would be a
He
yeah.
did.
He finished
That'd be
P3,
double
so
podium.
that would be a double podium. Home race. Ormus is really close to Yab now, right in the gearbox. I can just imagine how the dirty air feels through that downhill corner. You're following right on someone's gearbox.
Midfield's in a good fight, but let's see if Hago has it this lap. Actually, he's a little late on the power there, but he got a good exit.
So Ormus, he's really close to Yab. He's definitely going to try and go for it now. He's so close. Yeah, this is going to be it.
Yab's not going to defend. Oh, he will defend the inside. Don't double move. Oh, he's squeezing him.
Yeah, still leaving him enough room.
Oh, Ermis is going to get him with the switchback though, and they've. Oh, yeah.
Yab lost his rear end there. Almost caused a collision, but that lets Ormus Reese take P3 from him.
That was very good car control there for saving that. He didn't snap back too much. He didn't take out Ermis. That could have been a lot worse. R2 has a run on Jans right now. He's very close.
He's gonna go for it.
I don't even know. I can't imagine him trying to make a pass somewhere around here. That's...
Yeah, it's not a safe place to overtake in. Does seem like turn 1 is almost the only place on this track where you can go for an overtake.
Urmus can now see the leaders directly in front of him.
Yeah, they've lost a
He's
lot of
hoping
time.
something happens.
Wormus has lost a lot of time battling with Yab. He still has 7 minutes. 7 minutes of time to close that 3-second
Jans
gap.
and R2, oh, R2 just tapped the back of Jans, but he's being sportsmanlike and he's letting him go. That was a good move. He lost the position, but that was very good
And Nick
by R2
Wu
there
just
to let
says
Jans.
thank you and takes that position from from R2.
He didn't have time for pleasantries. He wants that position.
R2
might be able to get him here. We'll see. He probably has damage at this
Nick
point.
Wu does have a run on Yanis as well.
Oh, R2's got this. I have faith.
Does he? As Nick
Oh,
Wu, I have no idea what he was thinking there.
I
think
either.
Nick Wu was so concentrated on Arto that he tried to brake really late, without realizing he has a car in front of him. So he just quickly tried to adjust and go to the inside of Yanis, but he was not expecting
He's gonna
that.
lose a few spots now. Wow, that was...
Yeah.
I don't even know how to make any sense of that. I think he was just looking in his rearview mirrors and just didn't realize what was happening.
I think he was just concentrated on defending from Arto. But the brake
Actually,
really
just had a
late.
little bit of a twitch. Hago is... Maxi's very good to this last sector, and that's exactly where Hago needs to pass at. I feel like he's got lower rear wing because Hago just catches him the beginning and the middle of the lap, but this last sector he can't put together enough to get a run on Maxi.
Yeah. The fight for P7 is starting to look really close. As Yanis has went off the track there and he's lost a lot of positions. Down to P10 now. I must say, there hasn't been that many incidents between other drivers. Just more, just driver errors. People just making mistakes on their own.
Philip is driving the loneliest race I've seen so far this season. He's 12 seconds ahead of the driver behind and 5 seconds behind the guy in front. So that looks like a solid P5 for him. That'd be his best finish this season. As Hago is very close again through this early sector.
Four minutes to go. The last race. Not a lot of battles going on track. Except Hago getting pretty close to Maxi. But he's just not close enough unless he goes for a dive bomb. Which he will not. Max doing really good work. Hago seems to be slightly faster than Maxi through the middle of the track. But Maxi always seems to get a good run out of the last corner.
Hago has a good run this time though. Very good run. He's going down the inside.
But seem like...
Why did he back out there? Hago should have went for that. That's not the racing mentality. He had the run. I don't know why. Maybe he just thought that Maxi was going to block it off. But that was his best chance yet. Oh, and he's gone off.
That gives Urmas another position, and
yeah, Urmas up to P2 now.
Hago's lost 2 spots.
I must admit, Urmas' luck has been
unreal.
Very good. He's been so lucky this round.
It was kind of like in Donington as well. I mean, everyone just crashed out in front of him, and he came from the back of the pack. He had a qualifying ban here, and he's made up, and Jaap's gonna get a double podium. It looks like at his home race. Snuck back in there. He's just kept it clean.
1.5 second gap to Max Miljumer with 2 minutes to go. The clock, and
he's only 3/10 quicker.
That's not going to be enough. He's going to have to.
Jack Smith's having a look at Clank Hughes right now. They're about to go onto the back straight. He was a 10th behind him.
But is he close enough?
He's going for the dive bomb.
Yeah, I don't know why Clank Hughes is not defending that.
Inside, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but look at that run on the outside you can get.
Yeah, maybe he's just confident in himself that he can keep it around the outside. It does give you the better line. The next corner, I think. Jack Smith is right on his gearbox.
So this is looking good for Vermin and Mercedes.
Yeah, Jack
at
Smith
least in terms of
getting the win in the first race. So far, it's looking like as Urmas Reese has made a mistake. I don't know what happened, but Jaap has gained another place and he's up to P2 now.
Wow.
So
I was just watching Sammy go off there right there at the end. I missed it as well.
I just saw the position change.
I know Urmas has damage, so I don't know if that played a factor, but I know he has it for a fact.
He lost 5 seconds that lap.
This should be the last lap of the race, as long as Maxi keeps it on. He's going to get a win here in the second. Started on reverse pole and has held it ever since.
Yeah, he got quite unlucky in the first race. I did miss the incident, so I'm not sure whose fault it was. Second race, getting that reverse pole and showing that he has the pace to win. Solid race from him.
I don't know if Jack Smith's going to be able to get Clank Hughes or not.
I've been watching him. He's been very close to Clank Hughes for like the last 10 minutes, but he's just not close enough in the right places. Maxi only has corners to go.
Yup, closed up a little bit. Maxi was a lot further ahead from everyone. He's kind of just trying to survive.
I think Maxi knows. Got it in the back. As
he starts from reverse pole.
Finish line. Yeah.
And wins the race, followed by Jaap, who's had a double podium at the home race. Urmas comes from qualifying ban to having at least one podium. Hago finishes in 4th. Philip Ohl gets his best result of the season in 5th. R2 comes back from the back of the pack to finish in 6th. And Jack Smith couldn't get Clank Hughes for 7th at the end. Nick Wu will get 2 points, and it looks like Jans, even after the accident, will get a point.
Martin down in 12th. I still wonder what happened to him in the second race.
Yeah, that's a bit of a mystery. So that was interesting. That Zandvoort provided a good good race. 2 good races, I'd say. I think it was mainly for the chaos, or the accidents at the front, but
yeah,
it's very interesting.
Now we have 5 race winners in 4 races, or in 4 rounds. So that is very nice to see that it's not being dominated by one guy.
Are we ready for interviews? Returner, aka Hago is already waiting for interview.
Okay, let's see. Is our race winner around anywhere? Any one of our race winners? Jack Smith? No. Jack Smith will bring him in. Yeah. He won race 1.
Hello, Jack Smith.
Hello.
You're in the interview booth. Winner of race 1. How did it go?
Well, pole was great. That's my first ever pole position in Trout, so I was really happy with that. Mostly because Ernest had a quali ban, but we'll ignore that. Yeah, race 1, I did mess up at the start, which was just my fault. Went too fast around the outside of far 2. Went to the grass and then dropped back. And then I think I made another mistake somewhere, dropped me down to like 4th. And then there was an incident with Maxi and R2, which got me to go side by side.
Do you know what happened? We saw a little bit of it, but I didn't actually see, like, from your point of view, what it looked like, because you gained a lot from that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So just going into the hairpin, really, I saw Maxi sort of on the inside, like from what I can remember, it was only slightly, and R2 sort of just came in. So I'm not really sure he was at fault there, but I only saw a glimpse of it. Really, it was more focused on Heigo in front of me. So.
And then there was almost another accident. There was an accident right with you included. You somehow survived. Someone's wheels got tangled right after that accident on the straight.
Yeah, was that?
It was
Yap
you,
and
Hago.
Hago, yeah.
Yeah, because you barely survived. They almost took you out. I was watching from the the onboard.
I had no idea.
What was the secret to being quick this weekend? Was it low wing to be fast on the straight, or?
No, definitely. I reckon it was high wing. I think I was running a different setup to the rest of the team because I think they were running higher suspension than me, whereas I was running lower suspension. So basically, they had less chance of spinning out on the bumps and stuff that you could see on board, going through like turn 4 and the last corner as well. So I risked it. It was a little bit more grip into corners and stuff. But yeah, it's just putting the practice in, I think, that made the difference today.
So that's your first win this season, your 3rd podium. So that should bring you up the list a little bit. Is that your first win in F3 overall, or have you won in previous seasons?
I've won in previous leagues. I've not won in Trout though, so this is the first, and I'm really happy. And I'm glad Maxi got the other win as well. It's a double win.
Yeah, it should bring you guys closer to Mercedes a little bit, but we'll see. Toto Rosso lost a ton of points, so you'll probably jump there.
Yeah, I had to look at the gaps. It was like 4 or 5 points between us, so hopefully we can take over.
You got any questions for him, Mizzy?
No, I think that's all.
Well, congrats on the win. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, glad you enjoyed it.
Who else can we bring in here?
No, we are gonna bring in Maxi.
Yeah.
We'll bring in race winner 2. We'll bring in Maxi.
Hello, Maxi. You're in interview booth.
Yes.
Race winner of race 2. How was it?
It's not really the way I want to win, is it? I don't know if you watched, if you saw that incident in race 1, or what happened to me generally in race 1.
So we saw it, but we didn't see exactly. Like, I saw the accident happen, but what happened from your point of view going into the hairpin?
Something happened to Arthur. I don't know if he outbraked himself or something similar. He went wide, and I was still braking like going into the corner, so there was no way, I could have slowed down much more. So when he came back to the inside line, I just hit him. I was sort of hesitating with the throttle. I was going off, and then I went back on because I didn't know what he was gonna do, if he was gonna turn in or just leave me space. So that's why, yeah, I basically hit him. He went round. Our wheels interlocked too, which was weird. So I couldn't get out quick enough. He couldn't either. So yeah, that's sort of what happened. And then later in the race, I braked myself, went in the gravel trap, got out again. Then once again, and on like the last lap, I went into a wall, got completely bent steering. Was lucky that the guy in 11th was a lapped car, so he couldn't catch me.
Did you just lose it under braking, or I saw you go into the wall, but we didn't see how exactly you lost it?
The first time I lost it, it was on the braking, and the second time I touched a bit of grass, so I just went into the wall. It was on the exit of that fast right-hander.
But it kind of worked out in the end. You got reverse grid pole and just drove off into the distance.
Yeah, well, the second race was sort of just managing the gap. I wasn't driving too fast because I didn't want any of the incidents that happened in race one. So people started catching me pretty easily, but you know, you can't really overtake on Zandvoort unless I made a mistake, which I luckily didn't. So.
Were you running a lower wing? Because Hago couldn't catch you on the straight. He had a good run through the first two sectors, but you would just drive off
No,
in
that last
sector
corner
3.
is that last corner, second to last corner is basically what gains you all the speed. So you would, if a car's behind you, you basically brake early to get a. He has to brake himself earlier to not hit you. And then you just get the best exit possible, and then he can't catch you. It's basically that's Zandvoort. Basically, just you just slow up on the apex or in the braking, and then go for the best exit, and then no one can overtake you, even if you're a second slower.
Interesting. Well, congrats on the race win. That's all the questions I've got. You guys got any?
Yeah. Thank you for the congratulations.
Seeing that this is probably the best we've seen you perform the whole season, do you think you're going to be able to keep this up?
Well, Zandvoort is my favorite track, so I don't know. I can't make any promises, but I hope so.
Right, thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you. I think we should bring all 3 of the other guys that are waiting for interview in at the same time, because otherwise this would take hours.
Yeah.
So.
Sure. Yeah.
So hello guys.
Hello.
You're in the interview booth.
Oh.
Okay.
Up left. Okay. So I guess both Estonians here. We'll start with Hago. How were your races?
What was the question?
How were your races? I think is what
I think the word I'm looking for is just unlucky. Both races got ruined by actions what were like not my fault. In race 1, Maxi tapped R2 in the third corner, fourth, I don't know, one of those. And then we went on the bump section, the left-hander, and before the race we had a talk with Jack and Maxi and the others who race at Vermin that we do not overtake on that part of the track. And Jack went for the overtake on that part of the track. And then I saw Jaap do the same thing, and at that point things just escalated.
Which part of the track?
You know, the big bump in the left-hander. If you go in the middle, you die.
Did you guys lock wheels? Because Jack Smith was the only one to make it out of there alive.
I think
Or
Jaap went through the middle section, and at that point you are just flying. There is nothing you can do. If you go over the middle section, you are guaranteeing yourself a spin because the car lifts off and you have no room to do anything else. You go on the grass and hit others or whatever.
and what happened to you at the race 2? You went off right there at the end, but we missed it. Were your tires just hot, or?
No, it's
You have
another
damage?
case of just unluck, because every time I got close to Maxi, for some reason his ping jumped to 150, 200 or so. Every time I was like 5 meters from him. And at that point his ping had to jump to like 200 because on my screen his car stopped on track. So I took avoiding action. And when I was on the grass already, he teleported right into the corner after. Like, it was just a case of being messing up my race.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Irmis.
think I saw that in one corner actually. Maxi was like slightly drifting.
Yeah.
Looked a bit weird.
Yeah, just imagine that, but 10 times worse.
So yeah, Ormas, how about you?
My second race was quite good. I messed up myself behind Maxi, so I ruined my chance to try and overtake for P1. So I'm not that mad at that, and P3 is a good result. But the first race, I was crashed out literally on the start straight. I don't even know how it's possible because I was next to another car in front of me, and someone hit me in the rear, and I had to drive the whole race on fully red front aerodynamics and yellow rear aerodynamics. But somehow the car still had grip, so that was lucky for me.
Yeah, we saw that. There was like 5 cars, I think, on the start straight in the first race. And we didn't see how it happened, but it was just chaos.
Yeah, I'm
Did
gonna
you have
check
damage?
the replays. Yes,
Did you have damage in both races?
no. I had only damage in the first race. In the second race, my pace was better as well, I think. But I think I was actually, considering the damaged car, I was still doing good to finish P5 in race 1. So, and there was a lot of mayhem that gave me that position as well. So basically, there's no reason to give up if you've been crashed out because I somehow ended up in P5. That's one of the reasons you should just keep driving.
Yeah, I mean, I think it happened as well in Donington where, you started at the back, you had a quali ban this race, and everyone at the front just kind of, it was attrition, everyone just started hitting and crashing, so, I mean, you just keep it safe, and every time it seems that you either get up high into the points, because I think if that accident didn't happen, you would have been like 8th or 9th before in race 1, so congrats to you. I mean, you always somehow find a way to get back up.
I think the way I set my car up for this race actually gave me a big advantage. It was a risk, but the setup basically kept my tires alive more than the others. I ran more aerodynamics on the rear, which gave me a worse turn-in, but overall saved the rear tires. So, but yeah, 5 and 3, I'm happy with that result.
No, I think that's all.
And congratulations to the race winners.
Yep, same for me.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time out to come and visit us in the booth.
Oh, did you catch the part where I was going into turn 1 behind Hago?
Which race?
Race 2.
Race 1. I don't know,
No,
2, yeah.
2.
I'm trying to remember when that was. There's just so much
Yeah,
content.
there's so many moments.
You probably didn't see it then because you would have remembered what happened.
It's
yeah,
possible. There's
Just,
like 7 or 8
glitched a
accidents.
little, I guess.
Yeah, basically almost crashed out, but somehow got lucky because my game
yeah.
froze. My game froze going into turn 1, and I was braking completely blind, and then it unfroze right before the turn, and I was able to avoid going too wide, but we still glided, but it was minimal.
Well, you almost had an accident with somebody who, I think it was Yap, or somebody just got a little bit loose in turn 1 when you dove on the inside, or it was Martin or something, and they saved it right before. That was almost the end of your race.
Actually, that was a weird moment for me. I saw him going into the turn, and I knew he was gonna lose his rear before he did lost it, and I also knew he was gonna recover it. So that's why I actually took that line. I wouldn't have been on that line otherwise.
Yeah, it was very close. I think there was less than like a meter between you guys at the end of that.
Yeah, that was a close one. But in the end, he got that position back again, so... I guess fair play, he lost the rear, I lost my rear. Positions changed.
So I think that's it for this weekend. Very action-packed as always. I want to thank all the drivers for showing up and bringing us this fantastic show. Any words from you, Carlos?
I think the F3 series is just keeps bringing and bringing all the time. It's just great racing every round, and I think this proves that maybe having high power cars with DRS and everything like that is not always the best case. So yeah,
that's a good way to put it.
Definitely, yeah, the ERS and DRS remove from the pure racing experience, and the way you can't follow in dirty air. I guess it ruins the racing a bit. So these cars are really good for racing.
So yeah, I think that's it.
Yep, we'll see you guys Next week, as we are racing in the hybrid series. Is that the next race in hybrids?
Well, that's next. That's
No,
next F3.
Yeah, next race in hybrids is Silverstone.
So in a week's time, we'll be racing in Silverstone in the hybrid series, and in 2 weeks, we'll be racing in Spa, the Formula 3 series. Very exciting. So see you guys
Spa,
next
very
week.
exciting. Thank you.
That's it. Thanks for
All right,
everyone.
gentlemen. That's fun.